Hi everyone, it's Carole Justice Gray here. Well done for taking the first steps and joining me for your first class in the block of movement with me. You'll either be with me for Qigong, for Mount Method, or my movement for house class, which is a mixture of the two. So I just wanted to touch base with you, just remind you of a few things. There's an awful lot going on when you first join us. So I want us to try and find the best way for you to make the most out of our time together. So it's great that you've made the decision to try and affect some change, positively move forwards yourself to affect some change. And just turning up is a really big deal. So well done. So I want to just go through and recap some of the things I touched on at the start of our class. And it's really, really important that you hear it. And actually what can happen, obviously, when we're in a class is we don't hear everything. We're dealing with an awful lot of thoughts, feelings, there's lots going on. So you don't always hear or take on board everything that I've said. So first and foremost, I want you to be aware of a few things, and I wanted to recap them. So the most important thing is to never cause pain to get out of pain. That's something that Sue Hitzman, the creator of Mount Method, has said. And I actually have fundamentally always believed that in any of the practices that I've worked with over the last decades. You need to learn where you are in your body when you're working with something new. And you need to find ways to deal with, introduce these techniques where it's not going to create pain. In this Western world that we live in, we have really conditioned ourselves to believe that we have to create hard pressure and work really hard to affect any change. And that's just not true. I really, truly believe you need to be caressing of your connective tissue and really, really gentle with yourself. Modern science has proven that working hard and pushing is not the case of how to affect change, especially within connective tissue. More of that later. So it's really, really important that you give yourself permission to be gentle, to be kind, and allow yourself the time to learn what it is that we're practicing together. Now, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable initially after some of the movements that we do. And what we have to do is find a way for you to learn how to move gently, to affect change, but to not create pain. And, it takes a little while for you to get used to what is the right pressure for you, the right amount of effort for you to help your body change, yet not stir up any discomfort. So just think of that saying, never cause pain to get out of pain. The other thing is to just remember you can 100% of the time in any of my classes always remain seated. You do not have to stand. You don't have to get on the floor. It's really important that you can remain seated. You can also choose to engage as much or as little as your body and you feel you can. So there's no judgment. The most important thing is if you do a little, things will change. And that's okay, but there's no pressure on you to ever do anything more than you're comfortable with. In fact, actually, it's really important for me that you understand that you must feel safe. I actually don't believe you can create any long-term healing if you're in a space where you don't feel safe. Now, initially, of course, you're going to need to know who the heck I am and what the heck is it I'm doing. So there's going to be a bit of anxiety there, particularly when you're living with chronic pain. But the important thing is to tell me if anything is too uncomfortable. We can modify, you can pause. With Qigong, you can even think the movement without doing it. I can nearly always find you a different way to work, which means you can join in the class, start to feel some benefits, but not feel too challenged. So please trust that you are safe. So going on from that, the other thing to be mindful of is be kind to yourself. Okay. It's going to take time for you to learn what it is that we're doing. And I think with Mount Method, particularly, it can be really like you're tapping your head and doing your tummy or whatever at the same time, and you just don't know what the heck's going on. So this is why we have 6 classes. It's so your body and your mind can get your head around being able to work in these ways when you're at home on your own. So do not worry. You're not going to magically know everything straight away. Okay, so be kind to yourself. We're going to repeat, and it will take time. So in terms of working at home, we want you to do what you can. So obviously, you're going to benefit a little bit if you just do the practice when you're with me. But our aim within this group of classes is for you to have tools that you can play with yourself at home really easily, really simply, and really quickly. So you don't have to do an hour's focused mindful movement or an hour's mount method. You can just do 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. And once you know some of these things, you can really easily integrate them into your life with very little effort. I completely get when you are exhausted from pain, the last thing you want to do is get busy. So we need to find simple things that can support you when you're at home that you can easily and freely do yourself. Okay, so another thing that I want you to be aware of, and I'm not sure that I will have mentioned this in class, is when you're living with long-term chronic pain, we have to slowly affect change. And the problem you will be perhaps aware of now is that you don't really know what's going on in your bodies. And that's not meaning to be rude, because I've been there myself. It's almost like you're wearing like a fuzz around your whole body, and it's stopping your mind from sensing what's going on. In fact, what you can probably only hear is that thing we call white noise of pain, and you're not really aware of anything other than that. So that in itself is going to interrupt you being able to adjust the way you work to keep yourself safe. But that will change with time. So this is why we go in very gently and see how you're doing. The other thing is, of course, we've all got this really mad brain fog. Well, all of us, some of us, most of us have got a brain fog alongside our chronic pain. My gosh, honestly, I have been known to be called Dory the fish many a time before. So what this means is it's going to take time for you to learn new things. So you just need to feel that's okay. You've got this. Okay. So please try not to worry. You're going to feel an awful lot of emotions at the moment. And my email that comes with this video will cover a few things, including some information from clients of mine that have already been through the classes with me. There's information about the benefits that they've seen from working with me. There's some testimonials of how they see the changes within themselves from doing the practice. So hopefully that will help you feel a little bit more optimistic. I've been told many times before that one of the few things that they definitely get, or one of the things they definitely get from joining my classes, is hope. And I really know I'm not a fixer. We all need to help ourselves. But what we will do is help you find ways that you can affect some support and some change yourself, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is just the most important thing. See you later in the week. Take care. Bye.